bad stuff to talk about here in New York. The shooting last night, the various goings on. I want to see what your thoughts and comments are on that. First of all, let me make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. There's nothing more disconcerting than speaking feverishly and speaking from the heart and then realizing nobody can hear you. So just let me know, give me an okay, give me a heads up, and we will be ready to go. That's all we ask, dear friends. That's all we ask, that you just kind of let us know what's happening and that sort of thing. I hope everybody's well. And if you're not well, what am I going to do? We always say that, I hope everybody's well. Yeah, I hope you're well. Yeah, I do. But let's see what we got here. Let's see who's paying attention. Okay, good. We got a Beijing Yankees, a 5x5. Thank you so much. We are ready to go for that. That is good news. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Beijing Yankee. Thank you. You got Freddie's there. You got John. 4x4. I don't know what that means, but hey, good for you. What is going on here? Here. H-E-R-E. Should be H-E-A-R. Can you see me okay in this? Let me see this. Are we see? There we go. Yes, there we go. Good. Okay, my friends, let's get down to business. First of all, your reactions, your thoughts and comments, I think, are the most important because, I've been doing this for a while, as you can tell, and I have found out that in the course of my studies into the world of ceremonial, performative public opinion, your thoughts are oftentimes as good, if not better, than most people. So consequently, I want to know what you think. I've got kind of an update. Did you hear what happened yesterday? Were you privy to what was going on? Did you hear it? Because what's also interesting for us, Mrs. L and I noticed, and this is very nice, we have a lot of friends who will email us and say, are you okay? Or are you okay? Even though New York is huge. This was in the 40s or 50s in Park. It's on the east side Midtown, so to speak, right around Blackstone. People are going to be writing into that one. Near, I think it was the NFL headquarters and the like. So the question is, what is your take? What are your thinkings? Just weigh in. I want to hear what you have to think. I wonder how CNN will coddle this guy. We don't know because he's not. It's a very good point you bring up. It's a very good point. We don't know whether he will be coddled per se. We don't know how this works, but let me see if we can bring this up to speed. Let me bring to you let me see, let me bring this to you. Let me see. Just a moment. ChatGPT still does a tremendous job. Okay, here we go, my friends. Here we go. At approximately 6:28 p.m. 6:28 p.m. on Monday, July 28th, a lone gunman entered the lobby of 345 Park Avenue in Midtown Manhattan and opened fire. The building houses major tenants, including the offices of National Football League, Blackstone, KPMG, and Deutsche Bank, and others. The shooter was identified. Normally, I don't want to do this, but I want to let you know. His name is Shane Devon Tamura, 27 years old, a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada. He drove cross-country from Nevada to New Orleans, arriving earlier that day in a double-parked black BMW carrying an M4 AR style. Well, weapons and assault weapons. They're going to be talking about that. The Bushmaster style, even though it's not a Bushmaster. And wearing a bullet-resistant vest. Mental health history was documented, though authorities stress he had no significant criminal record. Investigators say he acted alone. Motive remains unknown and is under active investigation. Some early focus of the building's NFL offices, but no link has been confirmed. At 6:28, this is how it unfolded. 911 calls show an active shooting. What is an active shooting versus inactive shooting? I'm not trying to be cute. What is active shooter? Active shooter is defined as somebody who's the perpetrator of an ongoing mass shooting. The term is primarily used to characterize shooters who are targeting victims indiscriminately and at a large scale, which sometimes will either commit suicide or intend to be killed by police. More generally, an active perpetrator of a mass murder may be referred to as an active killer. So there you go. Where this, I don't remember hearing this when I was a kid. I don't know if you did. I never heard this. Tamura exited from a double-parked BMW, entered the building armed, and opened fire immediately on Officer Didarul Islam, a 36-year-old, such a terrible, terrible situation, who was working additional security duty that evening. In fact, he was in uniform. I think he had either 2 children and 1 on the way. Islam was killed instantly. He was a committed NYPD vet, married with 2 young sons and a third on the way. By the way, they are probably going to elevate him to detective status so that he can enjoy, his widow can enjoy whatever benefits from that. The shooter sprayed bullets in the lobby, fatally wounding a woman behind a pillar and injuring at least 1 civilian male and a security guard. He then proceeded to the 33rd floor, walked the hallway, and fatally shot another woman before turning the rifle on himself, dying from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. Interesting, to the chest. Police declared the scene neutralized and contained by approximately 7:52. So 30 to 52, so 74, so an hour and 24 minutes roughly, about an hour and a half. Fatalities, excluding the shooter, of 4. NYPD officer Didarul, I'm mispronouncing the name, forgive me, 36, fatally shot. A married immigrant father expecting a 3rd child. 3 civilians, a woman in the lobby, security guard, and a woman on the 33rd floor, all killed by gunfire. 1 critically injured, a civilian hospitalized in critical condition, and minor injuries, about 4 people sustaining minor injuries. The building houses high-profile firms, including the NFL headquarters, Blackstone, KPMG, and others. Occupants scrambled to lockdowns and hide. Emergency alert systems in the area were activated, resulting in mass panic, transport disruptions, and heightened police, FDNY, FBI presence. Authorities recovered additional firearms, ammo, medication, backpack from his vehicle in the double-parked BMW, still investigating to determine motive or planning. And by the way, coming into the studio now, Park Avenue in the 40s and 50s was all blocked off. So, Commissioner Jessica Tisch stated that Tamura had mental health issues, reported just 2 weeks ago prior by Las Vegas authorities, but no local ties to New York City had been confirmed. Mayor Eric Adams condemned the act as a despicable tragedy. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. If you can understand what he said, there's no confirmed motive. Investigators are examining whether a symbolic motive or target choice, such as the NFL or HQ, may have been intentional. Tamura's exact mental state, potential ideological influences, who knows? So my friends, we just don't know at this point. Now I'm curious, let me get that out of the way now that we've spent our time going through that. Carla, the cooking CEO, hello stranger, writes, why unlive himself? Thank you for using that particular phraseology. Why unlive himself if you're wearing a vest bulletproof? How did he get to the 33rd floor? Many questions. Indeed. You know, Carla, but we'll find, and by the way, thank you for your kindness. When something happens, no matter what it is, you will immediately be unable to grasp a lot of questions. And you'll wonder, is the inability to grasp questions because this was not well thought, or there was some reason behind it? Now, Carla and others, let me ask you a question. What does motive mean? Would somebody please tell me why we love motive? You see, my friends, this is what we saw the other day when we saw a number of people who were saying, for example, it's the list, it's the client list, it's the Epstein list, and they're using terms list. And I'm saying, why are they saying list? It's the same way they always ask, why was there, or what was the motive? We don't know what the motive is. We don't know what this thing is. What is the motive behind serial killing? Now, question. They're going to be combing through everything he's ever done if he appears on social media. People are going to try themselves to satisfy why it is, because we always want to know, just tell us why you did it. As though there exists ever some explanation for this. If he says, okay, Blackstone is it? Blackstone. And many of our members here, many of you incredibly deep, dark, and conspiratorial, will find some kind of a connection with Blackstone, or, oh no, it's true, Blackstone and others. Oh yes, you will do this. I know you. You will find some kind of a connection between Blackstone and, because that's who you are. The very questions you're asking is by nature who you are. This is what makes us so great. So we're probably never going to find out motive. And if somebody were to say, let's say he writes down Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, does that provide anything to you? Now we have a woman, by the way, her name is Jessica Tisch. Jessica Tisch is the commissioner of the NYPD. And the first time I saw her, I thought, I don't think this woman really knows. She looks, I'm going to say something to you, only say this. She looks a little like, what's going on here? I think she's one of the most effective commissioners I've seen in my lifetime here. Looks are deceiving. Eric Adams is a jadrul. He's a chidrulo. And he only stands as the anti-Zoran Mamdani. He is a guy who, for whatever it's worth, he is the counterweight to that. So my question is first, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is the reason? What do you think? What company was on the 33rd floor? Blackstone. Why is it always 33? You see this NFL connection. Blackstone. Roger Goodell. CNN said he's a white man, but Lionel doesn't know how he'll be coddled. I don't know if this is a black man. I don't know what he is. Look at him. What does he tell you? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, how many people are there in the United States? How many people? How many people are in the United States? How many people are in the United States? How many people own guns? How many guns are there? And what was a particular type of AR-5 or AR-15 or M4 that this particular gunman used? How many people in the United States? Let's work on this. Let's assume we're from another planet and we know nothing about the United States. How many people in the United States? How many think so? Give me a number. How many people in the U.S.? What do you think? How many people in the U.S.? That's good. 40 million. Thank you so much for that one. Carla says moments of insanity are more dangerous than anything else. You know what, Carla? I don't want to... By the way, this Tamura looks Asian. He looks black. He looks... I'm trying to I don't want to play guess the ethnicity here, but he does not look... I don't know what to tell you. He just looks like whatever it is. In any event, now, here's the question. What do you think? What do you think about this? There's 300, right now, there are approximately, in the United States, there's 344 million Americans. There's 107 million individuals who are gun owners, 32%, and there's about 393 million. There are approximately 20 to 25 AR-style guns. If you have a specific, there are different types of. The investigators report an AR-style weapon, for example, AR-15, M4 pattern rifle, commonly semi-automatic. But there's about 20 to 25 million in human hands, American hands. 20 to 25 million. How often does this happen? Never. Never. How often does this happen? Never. Never. It never happens. Tamura is a Japanese surname. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And if you look, he looks a little Asian. He looks a little Asian. See what's going on here? He looks like an Asian dude. So the question I have and you have and everybody else has, the question that we all are asking, the question that we are looking at right now is, tell me what you can draw from this. Tell me. Tell me. I have just enlisted you. I am the homicide chief. What can you tell me? Carla and everybody else, what can you tell me? Nothing. 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 I know this is a thing, but is he insane? Is he insane? Not necessarily. We use that word kind of in terms of like when somebody does something that's extraordinary. I might want to go in and I might want to be a part of a, how do I say this? I might just want to make a statement. I'm tired of my life. I'm frustrated. I'm a loser. My family let me down. And I'm going to shoot people up. Am I insane? Do I hear voices? Do I not know what I'm doing? No. Was Ted Bundy insane? No. You see, because we can't understand why we would do that, we always add to it. We always add to our particular way of thinking, some way to provide some romantic side to this. We love the romantic side. We love to make, certainly there's got to be a reason. Certainly there's got to be a reason for this. There's no way that we can have just somebody do this. Yes, you could have somebody who just does it. Linda Hazlitt says, 33rd floor is Rudin Management, one of their many buildings. We don't need less guns. Wanted, need, don't print what I want. I don't know what that means. There's a lot of stuff on that floor. Linda, thank you. There's a lot of things in that building. What does it tell you? I can go through this. NFL, if he doesn't say something, I also need to find out, did he say anything? Did he hear anything? Look at his phones. Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me see how good you are. Let me see how good you folks are. Let me ask you a very simple question, and you tell me this way of looking at things, okay? I'm going to ask you a question. Number one, if I wanted to ask for volunteers, what area would you like to review? What areas would you like to review right now? Carla says, what was implanted in his mind? We will never know. Football brain injury? Maybe not. Possibly he was a player in the past? Could be. I'll tell you what, you go and you look at that. You go in it. Now, here's the best part. Carla, the number of people who have suffered themselves, who have themselves suffered from player injuries, are more than you can count. More than you can count. We don't get this. We don't get violence out of this. The number of people who are involved in CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, from repeated brain trauma, tau proteins, that kind of a goopy, thick tendrils imitating or mimicking things like Alzheimer's type thing, then it result in violence. To travel across the country, double park to go in. Now remember, we don't know anything that's been said. We don't know anything that's been written. We don't know about manifestos. I believe there were I saw some co-defendants. Did you see this? Were there any individuals arrested along with the shooter yesterday in Midtown? Remember this? We saw some people who were involved in this. And so there have been no arrests or accomplices or co-conspirators. Authorities have consistently stated that he was alone. Did you not see somebody? Did you not see somebody else? They found no evidence of any people, no? So, you see, how do I say this? My first question is to always say, there was nothing there. Start off with default. Start off with default. Start off and ask yourself why it was that this was done, but ask yourself the very simple question. Why was it done? And start off with the premise that there was no reason for it. Versus, see, it's better to add a reason than take away from a reason. You're going to look at the fact that the way he walked, the way he wore some type of a... By the way, it's a great question. If you're wearing a vest, why would you wear a vest and then, quote, turn the gun on yourself? Maybe he thought he could somehow get away. Do people think they're getting away? I don't know. You know the difference between serial killers and mass murderers? It's a very simple thing, and this is something we have to understand. Serial killers versus mass murderers. Because I love this subject. It fascinates me because they're so rare. We don't see this. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at all. A serial killer is somebody who kills 3 or more people with a cooling off period between each murder. The crimes are separate. A mass murderer is somebody who kills multiple people, typically 4 or more, in one location during a single event. It's very interesting. The timing. Serial killing, murders spaced out over time. Mass murders happen at one time. The location, different places. Mass murder, one place. Cooling off period, yes for serial killers, no for mass murder. Motive, sometimes often psychological, sexual, or thrill. But mass murder, rage, revenge, ideology, grievance. I think it is safe to say, if you're going to go through all that work, and if you look at how much effort he placed, how much effort he involved, how much effort he utilized, it doesn't sound like, to me, maybe you would agree, that this was something he just thought at the last minute. So also, if you look at it, which is very interesting, targeting. Serial killing, you target, but with mass murder, it's almost random. You may go to a place, but the people who are hit themselves is a different story. Suicidal tendencies, almost always in mass murder. A lot of times. Not with serial killing. It's a different story. An infamy goal. In serial killers, they crave infamy or power over life, but with mass murder, it's seeking some type of notoriety or revenge over individuals. This is incredibly fascinating. And remember, as we look through this, remember serial killers, mass murderers. Serial killers, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy. Mass murderers, Stephen Paddock. Remember this? 60 people. 60 people in Las Vegas hotel shooting. The Parkland school shooter, Nicholas Cruz, Adam Lanza. I'm not going to get into that, but that's a different story. Serial killings may trigger federal jurisdiction. Mass murders are often charged under state homicide laws. Serial killers leave long trails, DNA, MO patterns. Mass murder is a different story. Remember this bonus distinction. Spree killers. A spree killer, somewhere in between. You kill 2 or more people in different locations over a short period of time. Remember the DC snipers. Now, first and foremost, I must ask you this question. Do any of you find people think it odd that we even discuss this? Do any of you think it even odd that we discuss this? Do you think it's best for us not to find ourselves in the position of thinking too much about this? Do you think that by talking about this, we risk the chances of lionizing, of elevating these people through some kind of an apotheosis, some type of deification, beatification, canonization, some elevation, some elevating to some Promethean status where we're, looking at it? Do you think so? I don't think so. I think crime is the most interesting of them. Let me ask all of you. Do you think you would be able to do what this fellow did? And why? It's a very simple question. Could you ever find yourself in the position of doing this? Could you? Yes or no? Could you? Sarah Garcia says, Lionel, did you get a job? I hadn't watched you in a while. I had to search for you. Did I get a job? Oh, bless your heart. Well, we always have new jobs, Sarah. We have this one and others. And You know, there's legal matters that I do, and I'm on WABC at 1 a.m., about 15 minutes. I hope you join us. Is that a job? I guess you could call that a job. It's kind of an adventure. But thank you for asking. We've been having quite a few people go off in public places. We had the mass stabbing in Walmart 2 to 3 years ago. What motivates these people? Give me the motivation. Give me the idea. Remember, you're my team. Tell me, what is it? What is it? What do you think? Well, one thing I'd like to do, one thing I think is very interesting is for us to talk about this. And I've been saying this for my entire life. If we agreed one time, if we agreed to never, ever, ever mention a name of a shooter, if we ever agreed not to mention the name of a shooter, do you think it would help things? And I absolutely, positively, 100% believe it would cut down. Even though this is a rarity, I believe it would. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. If we agreed, all of us, not under mandatory, some type of mandatory government finding, but if we agree, if we said, you know what, we're just gonna not bring this up. And whoever does it again, whoever finds himself in the position of killing somebody or being a shooter, we agreed never to bring it up again. I think there would be a demonstrable drop in the amount of people who were involved in it. Absolutely. You see, my friends, there's one thing that you may or may not understand. Many people need some kind of recognition. They want to make a statement. They want something. What do you want? You might want respect, respect of your family. You might want respect of your friends, respect of your community. You might want a lot of different things. People really, believe it or not, they have these respect aspects. They really find themselves in the position of wanting to be respected. So consequently, they will do things that are very interesting. They will put themselves in the position of doing things that will allow themselves to maybe make some name. And if we said, we are not going to provide you with the name, we're not going to give you the notoriety, we're not going to know anything about where you're from, your manifestos, what you look like, your thoughts, your ideas, your social media world, where you're from, what you're... If we agreed and told people, we're not going to do it, I promise you, we would probably be averting more tragedy than you can imagine. Also, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here in this city, because we have, as you know, a race coming up, a mayor's race. And in our mayor's race, we have this very interesting story. We have Zoran Mamdani, who wants to defund the police. And with all that was going on yesterday, if ever there was something that strikes home, that reminds people, you need the police. They may not be perfect sometimes. They may be sometimes a bit of a problem. They might, as some considered, families or some areas, they might consider to be a bit boorish. But can you imagine what it would be like not to have these people there? Now, my friends, I need your likes. I need 700 likes. I know that's going to be tough to ask for, but it means so much. If we had 700 likes, what it does is it puts us in the HOV lane. It allows people to listen to what's going on. So I want to thank you for doing that. As you know, I never want to make a definitive statement of whatever. I really don't. I think life is too complicated. I think behavior is too complicated. I I will do everything in my power not to bring up any kind of a, what am I trying to say? Any kind of, conclusion about it's this, it's that, it's vaccines. I'm surprised nobody's brought that up. It's weather, it's Wi-Fi, it's 5G, it's mental health, it's psych meds. Was he on SSRIs? People love to see causation to cause. They love it. They love causation to cause. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately, in the real world. So I don't really know. At any event, my friend, I thank you for this. Chemtrails, very good one. That could be another one. So I thank you for this. Carla, thank you so much, dear friend. Always a pleasure to see you. Carla, the Cookie CEO. Linda Hazlitt, thank you, dear heart, for your kindness and the like. I appreciate that immensely. And thank you for your being here. Go over at 1 a.m. to 77 WABC, 770 WABC. And I'm going to be on until 5 during the overnight. And love to talk to you. Love to hear what you have to say. And when you call, make sure you tell Riffraff, our screener, that you are part of Lionel Nation. So I get to you right away. Because you are smarter than the rest of these people. I know it sounds corny, but you are smarter because they're good people, but they're talk radio people. And they don't know what you know. They don't think the way you think. Okay? All right? You got that? Okay? All right, my friends. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation. Hit that little bell. Again, we need your likes. Your likes are critical. Please do that. Don't forget also to sign up for our Lionel Legal. This is Lionel Nation. And don't forget, Lynn's Warriors. She's got some great stuff coming up. She's got some stuff to talk about regarding Candace Owens and others that you need to look at from a perspective that maybe a lot of people don't really know. In any event, thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. I love you immensely. So just take a break. Maybe get some coffee or do something. Run to the loo. And then at 1 or so, 1 o'clock, 1:04, I start off here. 1:04 Eastern Time on WABC 77. You can also go to WABCRadio.com. You can listen there. You get the app. They have all kinds of apps. All right, my friends? All right. Have a great and glorious day. Don't ever change, and I mean that. And until we meet again, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.